The day she said those words, I laughed. A few months later, I cried because I finally understood what they meant. There are certain moments in life that seem ordinary when they happen. A casual conversation. A simple smile. A joke shared between friends. But years later, when you look back, you realize those tiny moments quietly changed the entire direction of your life. This was one of those moments. Before we begin, take a second to support the channel. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unexpected love, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps these stories reach more people around the world. At the time, I was 34 years old and completely exhausted by life. From the outside, everything looked fine. I had a stable job repairing industrial machinery. My bills were paid. I lived in a small apartment. I woke up every morning and went to work like everyone else. But inside, I felt empty. 3 years earlier, my engagement had ended only 2 months before my wedding. The woman I planned to spend my life with chose someone else. The heartbreak didn't just take away a relationship. It destroyed my confidence. After that, I stopped believing in love. I stopped attending family gatherings because everyone asked the same questions. When are you getting married? Have you met anyone new? You can't stay alone forever. The questions felt like small knives. Eventually, I learned to smile and change the subject. Then one rainy Tuesday morning, everything began to change. Her name was Hannah. She worked in the accounting department of the same company where I worked. We had seen each other countless times in hallways, meetings, and office events. But we had never really spoken beyond polite greetings. What made Hannah different wasn't her appearance, although she was beautiful. It was the way she treated people. She remembered everyone's birthdays. She checked on coworkers when they were sick. She brought extra food because she knew someone always forgot lunch. She listened when people spoke. In a world full of people trying to be noticed, Hannah spent her time noticing others. The first real conversation between us happened in the company cafeteria. I was sitting alone staring at my coffee. She walked over carrying her tray and asked if the seat across from me was free. I nodded. For the next 20 minutes, we talked about work, weather, traffic, and dozens of meaningless things. Yet somehow, when she walked away, my day felt lighter. Weeks turned into months. Our conversations became routine. Morning greetings became coffee breaks. Coffee breaks became lunches. Lunches became long walks after work. For the first time in years, I found myself looking forward to seeing someone. But fear lived inside me. I never forgot what happened before. Every time I started caring about Hannah, a voice in my head reminded me how badly things ended the last time. So I kept my feelings hidden. One evening after work, we were sitting on a park bench watching children play nearby. The sunset painted the sky orange and gold. Hannah was laughing about something that happened at work. Then I looked at her and smiled. Without thinking, I joked that whoever married her would be the luckiest person alive. I expected her to laugh. Instead, she looked directly at me. A calm smile appeared on her face. Then she said she agreed. For a moment, my heart stopped. The world seemed strangely quiet. The children playing nearby disappeared from my attention. The traffic noise faded. Everything narrowed to those two simple words. I agree. I wanted to say something. Anything. But fear won. So I laughed. She laughed too. And the moment passed. Or at least I thought it did. Over the next several months, our friendship grew deeper. We shared stories about childhood dreams. We talked about disappointments. We spoke about family struggles. For the first time, I told someone about my broken engagement. Hannah listened carefully. She never interrupted. She never judged. When I finished, she simply said that pain changes people, but it doesn't have to define them. Those words stayed with me. Because deep down, I had allowed my pain to define me. I had built walls so high that nobody could get close. Nobody except Hannah. Then life tested us both. Her father became seriously ill. Hospital visits replaced evening walks. Phone calls became shorter. The cheerful woman who always helped everyone suddenly carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. For months, she tried to stay strong. But one evening, sitting in a hospital parking lot, she finally broke down. Tears rolled down her face as she admitted how scared she was. I didn't have answers. I couldn't fix her father's illness. All I could do was sit beside her. Sometimes love begins not with grand gestures but with simple presence. That night, I learned that lesson. Her father passed away 6 weeks later. The funeral was heartbreaking. Hundreds of people attended. The line of mourners stretched outside the building. Each person had a story about Hannah's father helping them during difficult times. As I listened, I realized where Hannah had learned her kindness. Grief changed her. For a while, she became quieter. The bright spark in her eyes dimmed. But slowly, she found her way forward. And as she healed, something unexpected happened. So did I. Watching her face unimaginable loss with courage made me reconsider my own life. I had spent years hiding from heartbreak. She showed me that pain was not something to fear. Pain was something to survive. 1 year after that conversation in the park, everything changed again. The company announced layoffs. Entire departments faced uncertainty. Employees panicked. Rumors spread daily. Many people lost sleep. I was among those affected. After 15 years with the company, I received notice that my position would be eliminated. The news crushed me. My savings were limited. Jobs were scarce. For weeks, I submitted applications and received rejection after rejection. Every email felt like another door closing. I began questioning my worth. Again. One evening, while I sat staring at another rejection message, my phone rang. It was Hannah. She didn't ask about my job search. Instead, she told me to get dressed. 30 minutes later, she arrived with coffee and drove me to a hill overlooking the city. The lights below shimmered in the darkness. Then she reminded me of every challenge I had already survived. She reminded me of my skills. My character. My resilience. She believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. 2 months later, I found a better job. The salary was higher. The environment was healthier. The opportunity changed my career. But more importantly, it changed my perspective. Sometimes the endings we fear are actually beginnings in disguise. The following spring, Hannah and I returned to the same park bench where everything had started. The same trees stood overhead. The same path stretched beside the lake. The same sunset painted the sky. Only this time, I wasn't afraid. Years of fear had stolen enough from me. I looked at her and remembered the joke I made long ago. Then I told her the truth. I admitted that I hadn't been joking completely. I admitted that I cared about her. Deeply. I admitted that the luckiest man in the world wouldn't be whoever married her someday. It would be me if she allowed it. Tears filled her eyes. Then she smiled. The same smile that had quietly changed my life years earlier. And in that moment, I finally received the answer my heart had been waiting for. The years that followed weren't perfect. No real love story is. There were financial struggles. Family problems. Health scares. Unexpected setbacks. But we faced them together. And somehow, together made everything easier. Because happiness isn't finding someone who removes every storm from your life. It's finding someone willing to stand beside you while the storm passes. Today, when people ask how our story began, they expect some dramatic answer. They expect fireworks. Destiny. A grand romantic moment. Instead, I tell them the truth. Our story began with a joke. A simple joke on an ordinary evening. A joke that revealed a truth neither of us was ready to say aloud. And sometimes that's how life works. The biggest changes begin with the smallest moments. Before this story ends, leave a comment and tell us where you're watching from and what country you're in. We'd love to see how many different countries are part of this amazing community. If this story touched your heart, reminded you of someone special, or gave you hope for your own future, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell us which country you're watching from. Your support means more than you know, and your story might inspire someone else who needs hope today. Because no matter how broken life feels, a single conversation, a single act of kindness, or even a simple joke can change everything. And sometimes, the person you've been waiting for has been sitting right beside you all along. The end.